Hey everyone, welcome into the Father-Son Football Fanatics podcast. We've got a good show for you today. We've got some guys that we want you to stay away from in a new segment called Stay Away. It's a one-time-a-year deal around draft season where we talk about this. And then we also had a draft last night for one of our leagues, and we're super pumped about it. We're going to share some of the highlights from that. So stay tuned for the show today. We're going to get into that. I'm your host, Michael Combs. This is your other host, Caden Combs, bringing you the best fantasy football advice you can find anywhere. Anywhere at all, right?
Yeah.
You heard it here. Anywhere.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. We're going to get right into the show.
Stay away!
Stay away. You want to stay away from the people that we are about to, or the people that we have written down on our computers. You're going to want to stay away from them. But I think we have a little bit of news as well, maybe?
Yeah, we'll jump into just a quick piece of news. Deshaun Watson.
What did he get? Suspended for 11 weeks.
They finally gave the verdict.
$5 million.
He is suspended 11 weeks. He can't play, and he has $5.
Imagine. You have to go with $5 right now.
One Happy Meal at McDonald's. You got $5 million as a fine. $5 million and 11-game suspension. So his team definitely suffers. And then he suffers a little bit financially. We all know he got a big money bag, so that's not a lot of money for him, but that's a lot of money for anybody else in the world. So, but that's
Except Elon Musk.
Yeah, Elon Musk has a little bit more than that, but
He's a lot more than
football is coming up, man. A couple weeks, one more week basically of preseason.
I'm excited.
We're getting right up to the minute here. So a lot of fantasy drafts happening this weekend. We've got another one this weekend. So
yeah.
That's why it's important that you listen to what we talk about on here.
But I will say, one of these guys that I put on my list, I have on my team. I drafted him like the 4th or 5th round, which, I don't know, it's scary.
You kind of made the mistake.
Yeah, I kind of did.
You kind of did what we're trying to tell them not to do. So learn from his mistakes.
But what if he does good? You never know. He might just be insane. But all right. So should I start?
Start us off. Who's your first one to
Antonio,
stay away from?
Antonio Gibson. I picked him. I wasn't really thinking, but still, I think he'll have a little bit of value, but maybe not like enough. If there's a Kareem Hunt in front, if there's a Kareem Hunt and Antonio Gibson, I'd get Kareem Hunt. I have Kareem Hunt. I picked him in a later round.
Yeah,
you
kind of had to. You kind of.
So I got Antonio Gibson. So I picked Elijah Mitchell, then Kareem Hunt. Then I just kept going with running backs you
overcompensated, and sometimes that guy, it comes up to your pick, and the ADP is a factor. It looks like, man, this should be the next guy going off the board, and you don't really pay attention to who you're even taking. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get to that point, and I think that's what happened. You grabbed him a little early, but Antonio Gibson, stay away from him. You can always trade for him later.
If he does good.
If he's doing really well, 3 weeks into the season, you can always trade for him if you really want him that bad. But in the draft, I would highly suggest staying away from him.
He's just trying to make me feel bad.
Now, my first one, this might be kind of controversial, but my first one is David Montgomery. David Montgomery, he's shown some flashes.
I feel like he's going to be like Antonio Gibson.
And he's kind of in the same tier as Antonio Gibson, but he's shown some flashes. He's shown he's capable, but he's also shown that he's injury prone. He's shown that he doesn't really have that standout talent that you want, like a Christian McCaffrey of a few years ago, or a Dalvin Cook, or Austin Eckler. He doesn't have that. Austin Eckler. Austin. Now, he doesn't have that standout elite, capability. And because of that, and because of what Khalil Herbert showed us last year, I think this year it's going to be much more of a timeshare between those two guys and not just a one-man show with David Montgomery. So stay away from David Montgomery where he's being drafted right now. And now if he falls to the 8th or 9th round, scoop him up 100%. But where he's going right now, which is he's going 35th overall is his average draft position, which means you're taking him in the 3rd round. And other guys that you can get in the 3rd round have way more upside and way more ability to do better than he does. So stay away from him at his draft position. Who's your second?
I'm sorry. He's on this team. His name starts with a D. His first name starts with a D and ends with a K.
We're not really sure what the D and the K stand for, but
Derrick Henry. I'm just kidding. DK Metcalf, he's not proving his point, really. Like last year, he did all right. He's not worth picking over. I don't know, and he doesn't have a good quarterback.
Well, I think the quarterback play is really the biggest factor. I mean, I don't disagree with you. I am staying away from DK Metcalf because of his quarterback. I mean, best case scenario, he's got Geno Smith.
But he had Russell Wilson last year. He didn't do that great.
But Russell Wilson was out. Who was his quarterback most of the year? Geno Smith. Russell Wilson really wasn't there. He was out a few games, and then
dislocated finger.
That finger that was cocked sideways.
Yeah,
that was really freaky looking. But
it was
even when he did come back, he still was not throwing the ball like Russell Wilson. I mean, he still didn't have that full throwback. So taking DK Metcalf at his average draft position, which is 47, means you're taking him in the 4th round. Other guys you can get in that same range. You can get Mike Williams. You can get Deontay Johnson, DJ Moore, Cortland Sutton, Chris Godwin, Brandon Cooks, Allen Robinson, Gabriel Davis. I mean, all these guys are going to have the same kind of point potential as DK, and they most of them have better quarterbacks, which plays a big factor. So I agree with you. Now mine...
Let me guess it. No, I'm just kidding.
I was going to let you guess it because...
I already know who it is.
This one might be kind of controversial too.
I have him on my team.
Do you?
You're making me feel bad now.
Man, half of this segment is aimed towards you. Mine is Darren Waller.
I picked him late. I picked him the 6th round. If you get him there, you're doing good.
Yeah?
It was either him or George Kittle, and I already have a...
Yes. And, you think you're getting a good value in the 6th round, and maybe I'm wrong, and maybe you do. But he was injured the majority of last year.
Does that matter?
He's already injured this year. He's questionable if he'll even play week 1. He's older for the NFL.
We'll have Hunter Henry as a backup.
I think he's 30, 31. So
He's not that old.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
It's 20.
He might be 30.
29.
But he's over that 3-0 threshold.
So are you. What are you going to be this year? 35?
Oh, my gosh. What are we doing here? It's time for me to retire. I'm hanging it up.
No, that's only for the NFL.
Yeah. Yep. No, he just hasn't. It's been 2 years since he's shown us his true elite capability. He's had injuries. He's still dealing with injuries. He's getting older. I just think where you have to draft him at is not worth it based on who else you can get there. And, you can, sixth round, you've still got Marquise Brown, Amari Cooper, Allen Robinson, Gabriel Davis, Elijah Moore. As far as wide receivers go, tight ends. Tight end's a position you can always punt and pick someone up way later. So, sixth round, you can get a Dalton Schultz, T.J. Hawkinson. A ton of guys down through there. Darren Waller, I know you said you got him in the sixth round. In some drafts, you'll be able to do that, but he's going in the fourth round on average. So it's George Kittle, Darren Waller, both going in the fourth round. And it's tough, but I think I would go Kittle over Waller.
I already have I had Deebo Samuel. So I would not pick both of those guys.
And that's true. And that's another piece of fantasy advice. Try not to pick two star players from the same team. And this isn't a shot at Caden's fantasy team. You're going to make 30 trades between now and the start of the year anyway.
That's not true.
Because that's what we do. We get our team and we love to just trade. So, which is not a bad thing. Don't stay away from trading. Trading is a good thing. But Darren Waller is my guy, my second guy to stay away from. I think you can get other guys at better values and get the same results. So that's it for our stay away segment. But we are going to talk a little bit about our fantasy for a couple minutes. We've already talked about yours a little bit, Caden, where you got Antonio Gibson and Darren Waller. One of my highlights, I got Austin Eckler, which I was pretty pumped about getting him pick number 5. All the mock drafts that I did had him going
3.
Yeah, 3 or 4. So I did not think that I was going to get him at pick 5. So I got Austin Eckler pick 5, which I was extremely happy about.
So Dad got 5th pick.
Worst pick you can get, in my opinion.
10th pick. I got the best pick, in my opinion, except for the first pick. First and 10th pick are really good. So, wait, are you still going? Or can I go and then you go?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so I'm just going to say both my players.
Okay.
Right? So I have back-to-back picks, right? So I'm on the clock. Jamar Chase gets taken 9th pick, which stabbed me in the gut. I really wanted him. But then I got away with getting Deebo Samuel and Devontae Adams, back-to-back picks, which I'm really happy about. And then I got Saquon, Elijah Moore, or Mitchell, Josh Allen. I had a pretty good team. I have a pretty good team.
Yeah, you really did. Even despite taking Antonio Gibson when you did, you were able to scrounge together a pretty solid team with running backs.
I got like 6 running backs.
I was able to land, and I don't know how I was able to do this, but I was able to land Austin Eckler and Aaron Jones, which I was really excited about. And then wide receiver, I still got Michael Pittman for wide receiver. I got Travis Kelce, and in I think it was the 5th round, I was able to grab Ezekiel Elliott. That, to me, that was a highlight. That's a starting running back.
You were like a few picks ahead of me. You picked him.
Yeah.
He was down there. He was low.
How in the world
and
did you
I
let
was looking at him,
Zeke go that
and then
low?
you were like, oh, he's still here? And I was like,
and then
that's my guy.
A couple little other pieces of advice, too, that, look for those late round guys. And I know we've done late round must-haves on this show and all that good stuff. But
Zeke is not ranked that low in the app we use, like the thing we use.
Mm-hmm.
He's ranked like the 7th running back off the board, and then he goes like the 23rd.
Yeah,
or something.
I was stoked to get
not even
him.
23rd. That was like the 50th running back.
Yeah, maybe not 50th running back.
50th pick.
55th pick. I was pumped. I mean, that was really awesome. But even later round, some of the guys that I stashed on my bench, Robert Woods. Nobody was going for Robert Woods. He was way down the list, but he's going to be the number one receiver on that team. And also I grabbed a couple of guys, James Robinson and Khalil Herbert.
And somebody, we didn't get the defenses we wanted.
we were in a league with a guy, and I don't know if he's never played before or if I think he was on auto draft and just had some
Queued
players
up.
queued. And I'm not kidding. He picked 3 defenses in
He
a
picked
row.
Tom Brady as his first pick, first round.
Tom Brady. Well, Tom Brady's a good quarterback. I wouldn't have picked him first round by any means, but
I picked Josh Allen third. That's a steal. Third round for him.
it really is. But 3 defenses in a row. It was kind of comical, and I hope he's able to trade and build his team up a little bit. But
It was funny.
make sure you pay attention to your draft and don't let it auto draft.
He got the Bucks defense, the Bills defense, and the Saints defense. Like the 3 best defenses, really.
Yeah, so he'll trade you a defense for a running back whenever you're ready. If you want to unload Antonio Gibson, he might trade you a defense for him.
I have the Bengals defense. I think I'm good with that.
Bengals are going to be good. They're going to do good.
Hopefully.
So that's pretty much. Did you have any other highlights from our draft?
I had Saquon. I got a steal. I got Garrett Wilson in the 17th round or something. Not 17th, but
It's like 15th or something.
It goes on and off, which just
Well, that is it for the show today, guys.
turned on. Sorry.
We hope you enjoyed the show. It's been a lot of fun. Tune in next week. We'll have another great show for you. And that is it for the show for Father Son Football Fanatics Podcast. See you next time.